There we go. All right, we'll try this again. Welcome back, everybody. More NASCAR Heat 5 action on the channel today. The Indiana 250 at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Custom schedule season here as we ride along with Kyle Busch as normal for this season. Qualified 12th for today's race. You guys are just getting set to watch this. This is like the 4th or 5th attempt I think I've had of trying to get this thing underway, but we are going to get it underway. So without a doubt, it looks like we should have things good to go. Cross your fingers, everybody. Ethan Trendler, Alistair Moore, welcome to the stream. And here we go in this one. Kyle Busch from the 12th starting spot. Ryan Sieg, Noah Gragson will be starting on the front row. Sieg on the pole. Daniel Hemrick doesn't look like he's going to be that fast today. Austin Hill will be the lone driver, your Daytona winner, season opener Daytona winner, starting at the rear of the field. And so the front row made up of drivers that have not won a race this season. 13 races until the playoffs. Still 5 spots remain open to see who can set the field for the Xfinity Series playoffs. The green flag is in the air, and we're underway at the Brickyard. Kyle Busch with one heck of a restart. From the top side of the track to the bottom, getting really loose down there on the bottom of the track, and he's still able to clear. Austin Cindric qualified 6th. Oh, he's in the wall off of turn 2. Cindric got in the wall pretty hard there. Look at Kyle Busch up the middle. And out of the inside, 3 wide. Into turn number 1. Boy, he shot it in there. And who will lead the first lap of the race? Cindric hangs on to it 3 wide, squeezing Michael Annett in the middle now. The 54 and the 22 made contact off of turn 4 as Ryan Sieg will lead lap 1 here at Indy. Big run to the inside of the 51 of Clements. Couldn't keep the momentum going. Cindric drops in line now behind Kyle Busch. Called 88, welcome back to the stream. And here comes Cindric now. He looks to the inside of Busch, and he has one heck of a run. Oh, contact! Look at Busch just trying to squeeze his way up the middle between the 22 and the 51. Very aggressive, but he made it work. My goodness. Ryan Sieg actually did not lead the first lap of the race. He fell back to second place. Gragson in third, as Busch is now going for third on Gragson into turn 1. Ross Chastain was able to lead the first 2 laps of the race for Colleague Racing. And Kyle Busch still to the inside of Gragson. He can't clear him off of turn 2. Austin Cindric is right there, but Busch is going to block him and cut him off. And now here comes Harrison Burton in the mix. Very tough racetrack to pass on. Oh, Busch had one heck of a run through turn 4. He's going to go to the outside off the exit of the corner. He's going to easily get around the 9 car of Gragson all the way to the inside to break the draft now. Back up the racetrack and in front of Ryan Sieg. Kyle Busch up to second place. A dominant win at Texas last night. Looking for a win this afternoon at Indy. Trying to go back-to-back. Gragson for third. Can't quite clear the 39 of Sieg. Chase Briscoe in the top 5 now. Busch really drove it in deep into turn 3. He's doing everything he can to catch that 10 car. Tyler Burbeck, welcome to the stream. Kyle's got a big run in the draft. Briscoe going for third on Gragson. Look at the run Busch has into turn 1. It's Kyle's fastest lap of the race in the early going right there, but how is he going to get around the guy with the clean air? On such a flat, fast racetrack like Indianapolis, this is going to have to be a very strong effort from Kyle Busch. He is right behind him off the exit of the corner. He looks low. Busch with a little side draft down the back straightaway, a little contact. Didn't want to get that close to him. And he clears him into turn 3. Kyle Busch to the lead here at Indy. Briscoe to 3rd. Cindric back up to 4th. Harrison Burton rounds out the top 5. The front row is already, both of those guys that started on the front row, Gragson and Sieg, have already fallen outside of the top 5. Kyle Busch will lead his first lap of the race. It took him 5 laps to go from 12th to 1st, but he got it done, and now he ran his fastest lap of the race in tune of passing Chastain, of all people, for the lead. And this clean air is going to help him so much. Briscoe up to 2nd. Clears Chastain off of turn 2, it looks like. Cindric back to 5th. Harrison Burton up to 4th. A lot of passing going on mid-pack on a track that's hard to pass on. This guy's making it looking really easy in the very beginning of this race. Still a long ways to go. And Briscoe slowly but surely trying to run down Kyle Busch. He's got time. Tim Irvin, welcome to the stream. Busch already out to a 1-second lead on Briscoe. It's amazing how he just got his way through the field that quickly. You usually don't see it where Kyle Busch has a short run car on top of a long run car, but boy did he right there. Early going to the race, we're going to alternate through the different camera angles. Likely going to be anywhere between a 2 to 3 pit stop race today. We don't know how the cautions are going to play out necessarily. We had 8 of them in the race last night at Texas. Pretty evenly spaced out throughout the course of the race for the most part. This is a 200 lapper around 1.5 miles. This is a 2.5 mile racetrack with half as many laps. Mileage a little bit shorter also by about 50, so shorter race today. And you can see that's why Kyle really wanted to get to the lead early on and set the pace. Get that clean air, get the track position, and try to hold it as long as he can throughout the course of the race today. Number 1 Chase Elliott fan, welcome to the stream. One episode per day or 2 days. Dirt to Cup career. So I already have a career mode. It started just in the Cup series. Try to get it done a little bit quicker than what we seemed like we were kind of lagging on a little bit too long with the career mode last year's NASCAR Heat 4. But I do already have a career mode out there, so I don't want to restart it just to go to Dirt to Cup. I strictly just wanted to focus on doing only the Cup races on Heat 5. Kyle Busch out to a 3-second lead already. Harrison Burton up to 3rd. Chastain fell back to 5th after leading the first 4 laps of the race. Busch has led every lap since. I mean, it's just amazing how fast this 54 car is today. We've seen him have fast cars throughout the course of the season. And really, outside of Martinsville, he hasn't dominated a race quite like that since. Texas was about as close as he's come to dominating in last night's race. Had a really fast car, and he turns around here in this one looking for a lot of the same. Got to take care of his equipment throughout the course of the race today, and he'll have a shot to win come race end. I will get another career mode episode out either today or tomorrow. It'll be uploaded on the channel before the end of the weekend. Then I'll probably end up getting another episode or 2 in before I leave for Darlington next week. Busch didn't even use any brakes through turn 3 that time. He just rolled out of the throttle perfectly and got right back into it. This 54 car again is on a rail, and the good thing is for Kyle, he can have a nice smooth run. It's going to be a while before he catches lap traffic because of how long this racetrack is. Busch looking like the guy to beat once again here today. So he looks for his 7th win of the season. And after the conclusion of the race, if he does get the win, that would mean he has won half of the races so far this season. But somehow, some way, he still isn't the points leader coming in. And depending on where Cindric finishes, Cindric still might have the points lead. Definitely looking like the 2 championship favorites. Both have multiple wins. They're the only 2 drivers to have more than 1 win this season. And still neither one of them have DNF'd. See the lap traffic way out ahead. Oh, wow. Busch almost pushed it too hard through turn 4 there. You could really hear how much he had to get out of the gas center off on that last corner to keep it from getting into the fence. Only 15 laps complete in the race today. Obviously still caution free up to this point. That's definitely going to end up changing a lot of it throughout the course of the day. I remember when we raced at Indianapolis for the Brickyard 400 on NASCAR Heat 5 for that Cup Series season. We had a thriller in the second half of the race. This is a lot of how the race started, kind of a dominating fashion. We led a lot of laps, but things are definitely going to pick up in intensity come second half of the race if we start to get sporadic cautions. Oh man, just squeezing to the outside of Austin Hill on the exit of turn 1. Then he holds full throttle through turn 2 as he hit his marks perfectly to clear Hill back down to the bottom. Guy's got great speed down the backstretch now. 10-second lead on Chase Briscoe. Backed off quite a bit to get underneath the 92 through the short chute in 3 and 4. Now into the 4th turn of the racetrack. Considered an oval racetrack, but it really is a rectangle. 4 separate corners on this racetrack. Side by side with the lap traffic now right in front of Busch. He's got Chad Fincham. CJ McLaughlin. 3 wide to the bottom goes Busch into turn 4. Boy, that got tight. Now he gets into the back of the 08 of Gray. Or sorry, not Gray Golding. That is, Gray Golding drove that car last season. Joe Graff Jr. in the 08 this year. Of course, Golding did actually race last night in the actual Xfinity Series race. I believe he was driving the 08 car too, so maybe that's why I said Golding. And look at this mess of lap cars now right in front of Busch. He's going to get a big run off of turn 2. He's going to try to pass as many cars as he can down the back straightaway. Look at all of them fanning out. 3 wide. I mean, Kyle Busch just hustled around all of them down the back straightaway. Clears them before they even get into turn 3. This 54 car is going to be tough to beat today. Again, it's led all but the first 4 laps of the race. And now a caution will fly on lap 19. It is the first caution of the race today. And we're going to have some split strategy. We got some guys pitting, some guys staying out. And it's really mixed whether the drivers are staying out or pitting here under this stop. Kyle Busch is... Man, this is a really tough decision here. Not a lot of cars are hitting pit road, but looks like Ray Black Jr., first driver 1 lap down, so 22 cars will be on the lead lap. Busch is going to hit pit road here from the lead. So a lot of mixed strategy going on. Not many drivers are actually going to be staying out. Kyle wins the race off pit road. The top 9 cars stayed out of the pits under that first caution. Green flag back in the air. Cindric lined up right behind Busch. Vinnie Miller did not take off right in front of Busch. He spins the tires. Nowhere to go for Kyle to the outside. 3 wide into turn 1. Contact with Miller. Man, there wasn't a lot of room there. Risky move by Kyle. Trying to make it work off of turn 2. Big head of steam, but nowhere to go with it. Down to the bottom. He found a hole, and here comes Cindric. Cindric's going to get trapped on the outside. 3 wide to the bottom. Annette gets out of the gas, lets Busch go. Kyle going for 3rd on Ross Chastain. He is clear, and now he's going for 2nd on Jeremy Clements into turn 4. Briscoe going to lead his first lap under green in this race. Man, Clements really pinched Kyle Busch down there. Briscoe leads his first green flag lap of the race here. The hometown kid at Indy trying to get the win like he did in the road course race this season, and he gets tight off of turn 1. Busch drives right under him and clears him before they even get into turn 2. So Kyle Busch back to the lead again. Busch is in the wall off of turn 2. He overdrove the corner, giving Briscoe the lead again. 3 wide now for second. My goodness. Kyle lost a ton of ground after that mistake off of turn 2. And here comes Jesse Little to the inside. Little's got a huge run. Look at Busch go up the middle, 3 wide through turn 4. This is getting tight. Busch is loose, and he hangs on to it. Back to second place again. And Briscoe's now led 2 laps under this green flag run. And here comes Kyle. Shoots the gap into turn 1. Power move to get by Briscoe. And he rises up the corner into Briscoe. That didn't work out so well. Jesse Little's got a big run. Trying to use Chase Briscoe as a pick, and here comes the points leader, Austin Cindric. Jesse Little going for the lead. What an upset that would be. Busch back up to second. Briscoe falling back now. Cindric up to third. Jesse Little trying to lead his first lap of the race. Busch to break the draft on the bottom. Side by side into turn 1. A little side draft before he sends it into the corner. Clears the 4 and again gets tight up the track in turn 1 for the second lap in a row. And Cindric goes from third to first. Austin Cindric to the lead. Busch holds full throttle through turn 2. And Austin Cindric is taking the lead at Indy. Back and forth action on the restart. Busch gets to the lead, but he gets so tight in the center of the corner he can't hang on to it. He is all over the back of that 22 car. He's going for it. Into turn 4. Couldn't quite get under him. And try to stay in his draft. Get a big run down the front straightaway into turn 1. Brandon Jones now in the top 5, followed by Brandon Brown. And 4th and 5th. They're tracking 30 PS4. Welcome to the stream, Mike Not in Sync. Yeah, we've been having issues with that a lot lately. We had an issue with it earlier, so we restarted the stream right before we got the race started. And it was fixed. And now I guess it's off sync again. That sucks. Sorry for that. I don't know what the issue is that it keeps doing that. Oh, Busch is right on the inside of Cindric. Austin led that last lap. Down into turn 1. Cindric with a power move on the top. He's trying to stay alongside the 54 of Busch, but Busch tries to side draft him. Into turn 2. Nobody wants to give. And Cindric, how did he fend Busch off on the outside at Indy? That was unbelievable. Kyle drove it in deep into turn 3, closed the gap slightly. See how good of a drive he's going to get now through turn 4. Oh, he got a heck of a run through turn 4 that time. Busch again all over the 22. Now he looks high. Cindric went to protect the bottom. He got that side draft on the right rear corner panel. Kyle Busch to the lead at Indy. 72 laps to go. 7 laps since the restart. Kyle Busch a little tight off in turn 1 again. Cindric gains a little bit of ground right back at him. Maybe got off of turn 2 a little bit better than Busch. And even the guy with the clean air just can't seem to keep the momentum going. Quite surprised how many lead changes we've seen in the early going of this race. But we'll see if Kyle can now try to drive away. Try to break any draft Cindric might have had there once again. Awkward angle into turn 1 for Busch. Didn't quite grip up like he wanted to there. I know if the mic's out of sync, you could try refreshing the page, because I noticed that worked last night when we came out of sync with like 30 laps to go at Texas. Some of the guys in the chat refreshed the page and it was working fine after that, so that could be part of the issue there. Roberto Sandoval, welcome to the stream. What place am I in? Points of the Pink Panther. Yeah, so for the career mode, we haven't quite started the playoffs yet. The next video will be the first couple playoff races. And we've got I want to say we're 11th in points. I think we're the 11th seed going in, so should be a lot of fun. Got at least 2 wins on the year, so we got some playoff points to work with there. Yeah, again, I know about the mic not being in sync. I don't know why that keeps happening. That's about, I don't even know what the count is. I stopped keeping track, but over the last couple weeks we've been having issues. We can get most of the way through the stream. Mic falls out of sync every now and then. It's fine when we start, and then at some point it just somehow falls out of sync, and I don't know how it does that. Welcome to the stream, B. Busch off to about a 3-second lead on Austin Cindric. So Busch kind of struggled in traffic a little bit there. He gave up the track position for new tires. It's worked out in the long run, though. He's right back in the lead again. Our only caution of the race came out on lap 19. We are at lap 34 as we cross the yard of bricks. Well, see, the problem is I don't know why it'd be an issue with the internet. Because I've got the mobile hotspot on, and that works 10 times better than my actual Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi was having issues before the stream before we got the race started when we originally started the stream, so that's why I moved to the mobile hotspot right after it, and it works fine. It just eventually falls out of sync from time to time. So caution's out for the second time today. It looks like anybody that did not pit under the first caution is going to pit here. Josh Bilicki in 23rd will get the free pass. Kyle Busch going to hit pit road once again here. Setting himself on strategy here, because it didn't seem like those guys on older tires were able to hang on for too long, maybe about 5 to 10 laps, and then after that they just started fading back through the pack. So the top 12 on older tires, Busch wins the race off of pit road. Amari P, welcome to the stream. And here we go, green flag back in the air. 63 laps left at Indy. It's Kyle Busch. Man, Alex LeBay really spun the tires on the restart there. Busch hanging on to it 3 wide into turn 2. 3 wide on the exit now. That 47 car, Joe Nemechek, got really loose in the middle lane there. Busch going to pull up and clear Brandon Brown and Nemechek. And look at how much of a difference 4 fresh tires makes. 15 lap fresher tires on Kyle Busch's Toyota Supra. And he's already up to 4th, looking for 3rd on Jones. Points leader Austin Cindric leading the race with Harrison Burton. Looking to the inside off of turn 4. Busch instead goes high because of it. And in 1 lap, Kyle Busch goes from 11th to 1st. He leads the lap by inches at the line on Cindric and clears him into turn 1. 15 lap fresher tires. That did not take long at all. And Busch almost got in the wall off of turn 1. Boy, that was close. If he didn't lift, he would have hit the wall hard. Harrison Burton now going for 2nd place on Cindric. Lap 40. And outside of Busch leading the race, everybody in the top 5, 2nd through 5th, is still the drivers on older tires, waiting for Briscoe to make his way through the field. Yeah, thanks for that, Roberto. Little info. There's Tommy Joe Martins up to 5th. First driver on 4 fresh tires outside of Busch to make his way in out of the top 5. I'm sure he'll get up to 2nd here before long, unless maybe Briscoe or somebody else behind him on fresh tires could get around him. And then the rest of the cars up ahead of him. So this will kind of shake the running order a little bit once again. Very split strategies in this race. Only 2 cautions so far, but definitely left for varying strategies. Indianapolis always seems to come down to a strategy kind of a race. You're seeing one here today. Busch's car handled perfectly that opening run of the race, but ever since then this car's been so tight for whatever reason. I'm speaking, but my mouth isn't. Well, it's out of sync, so that might be part of the issue there. I mean, again, you guys could try refreshing the page, see if that works. That's about the only thing you guys can do personally. I can't do anything since I started the stream. Busch has opened up about a 6-second lead. Tommy Joe Martins, Ross Chastain, 2nd and 3rd, also on 4 fresh Goodyears, but Busch has gotten out to too much of a lead, and he's just got faster cars in general than those two. Chastain's somewhat competitive with Kyle for first 5 to 10 laps, but that's about it. And he's trying to get around Tommy Joe Martins for that second position right now. Well, thanks for stopping by, Alberto. Appreciate it as always. Almost halfway done at Indy here today. Again, the lone live stream of the day, but we might have a career mode episode coming out by the end of the night. If not tonight, again, that'll be out tomorrow. Post-race analysis video will be coming out for the Coke Zero 400 at Daytona, but that will be tomorrow morning by the time that uploads. And then the predictions video actually just uploaded a little bit ago, so Xfinity race was really good yesterday. Honestly, I thought it was a sloppy race, a really sloppy race. A lot of it has to do with the lack of practice, you'd have to imagine. It was all right, but it was a little too sloppy. And when it wasn't sloppy, Colleague just absolutely dominated the race. I only watched the first 2 stages, and then we ended up obviously live streaming that Texas race, so I was able to glance over and see what was happening from time to time. Sloppy finish. That shouldn't have happened at all. I don't know what Chastain wasn't thinking. And I mean, Chastain said he was going for the win and stuff, but you can't do that, especially when a teammate's in front of you. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, I get you're going for the win, you're fighting for a championship. So be it. You know, I get that, but if that's the only way you're going to have a winning the race, and that just, you got to be smarter than that. And he didn't really own up to it too much. So that's the risk with Ross Chastain. And I mean, you got to wonder between, I mean, yeah, obviously sponsorship, makes a huge difference in what I'm about to say, but I mean, it's stuff like that why he's not in the Cup Series. I mean, you look at how he did when he filled in for Ryan Newman for those first few races, and that was back when they had practice this year and stuff. He was running decent with that equipment. He was running top 15, near top 10, and he found a way to wreck out of it, just fighting too hard for positions that he really didn't need to fight too hard for, especially at certain points in the race, and just overly aggressive. And it works from time to time, and it's fun to watch as a fan, but it costs him. I didn't know Golding was in a Colleague car. Did not know that, honestly. Feel like that's something I should have known, but oh well. Well, good news for Kyle Busch. If this race stays green to the end with the split strategies, this is going to be very interesting because Austin Cindric's falling outside of the top 5 now, and he needs to gain points on him today. We know Kyle's got the fastest car. That doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to win. We have seen him struggle first 5 laps or so on a restart, so if it does come down to it late in the race, he's definitely going to have to fight and hang on to everything he's got. Almost halfway. And yeah, even if they did finish 1-2, they could have finished 1-2-3, and Golding would have been right there in the near the top 5 or near the top 5 by the end of it too. So it could have been a lot better. And I'm sure as far as the money aspect, finishing 1-2 and then having 2 wrecked race cars, it really kind of balances itself out, and you don't really make much of a profit off the race compared to what you could have made big, obviously, for having 4 cars in the top 10. See the lap cars out in the distance, at least one off in the distance ahead of Kyle Busch here. So everybody that did not pit under that last caution has about 15 lap older tires. They can only go about another 8 to 10 laps before they have to pit. So they're going to have to hope for a caution here before long. Kyle's pit twice already. Different strategy than everybody else for the most part over the course of the first half of the race, simply because he pitted under both cautions. Instead, the split strategy, some guys pitted under the first one, some guys pitted under the second. Yeah, I definitely heard Cindric. He took a massive hit too. Kind of drove up over top of can't remember which collie car off the top of my head, which one but he kind of like drove over top of the front bumper of the car that spun in front of him and shot into the wall that way. Yeah, lucky he didn't end up in the catch fence, and that car came back down on all 4 pretty quickly. Welcome back, Cole. Cross flags in the air, halfway home, 50 laps to go, 50 laps down at Indy today. Kyle Busch leads by about 13 seconds. Almost got in the wall off of turn 2. Got more diecast. Pretty cool, man. I definitely need to get me another one or two when I go to Darlington next week. I would have got one at the Bristol All-Star race, but they didn't have any Blaney diecast because they only had like limited souvenir shops and stuff at the place. But I'll be going through Charlotte, so I'll probably stop by the NASCAR Hall of Fame. I don't know if the race shops are open or not. I hope they are, at least for like the actual shop part of it. Maybe you can't quite, you know, look over the rail and look at what's going on in there like usual, but actual like store on the inside, I would have to imagine would still be open. But definitely gonna get me some souvenirs next week. That is for sure. I think it'll be overly aggressive too. It'll be interesting to see how it's going to come down to it. And it depends on who's at the front of the field at the time too. If there's drivers at the front of the field at the end of the race that are already locked into the playoffs, it might not be quite as aggressive as if you were to see a guy that needs to win to get in up at the front. I think the beginning of the race is going to be pretty calm. I think especially the guys kind of driving in on points, because there's only a few guys that really can point their way in or have a good shot of pointing their way in. Everybody else on the outside looking in basically has to win. So you're probably going to see them play it more cautiously because they don't have to fight for stage points. They just want to make sure they're around and there at the end of the race. So, but when that final stage starts, those final 50 laps in that final stage, I think that's where you're going to really see some intensity, depending again on who's out in front of the field. But even middle of the pack, you're going to see some intensity by that point. But I expect a pretty calm first 2 stages for the most part. Maybe by the end of stage 2, you might see the aggression start to pick up a little bit, but I think for sure when that final stage starts, that's when you're really going to see some aggressive racing going on. Yeah, I haven't gotten any diecast this year. The last time I got a diecast, so I simply have only been really collecting Blaney ones the last couple of years. I got 2 of them when I went to Charlotte for the Roval last year. I got one in the Penske race shop. I got his 2018 throwback scheme when he threw it back to his dad when he raced that Jasper car. So I've got that one, and then I've got the his PPG car as well. And I got that at the Hall of Fame, if I'm not mistaken. Caution's out for the 3rd time today with 47 laps to go, and there's more split strategy. Those drivers that were still on the lead lap that did not pit under that last caution, we're going to have to pit within a couple laps. So good timing for the caution for those guys. We're going to have just 43 laps to go when we go green. Can't quite make it on field to the end here. Kyle will pit. He's still got 2 sets of tires. Why not? And it looks like Ross Chastain will restart from the lead. So the last restart was a lot better than the prior one. Kyle will have to restart on the top. Top 9 cars stayed out of the pits. So here we go. Green flag back in the air at Indy. 3rd restart of the race. Busch with another great restart despite restarting on the top. Quickly gets to the bottom. 3 wide into turn 1. I mean, look at the head of steam Kyle Busch has. Oh, he got in the back of the 44. That kind of hindered his progress into turn 2 a little bit. He's there. And by the time they get into turn 3, Kyle Busch is going to go for the lead on Ross Chastain. And he clears them before they even get into the corner. Tomas Perez, welcome to the stream. And Kyle Busch back in the lead again at Indy. Briscoe up to 2nd, passes Ross Chastain off the exit of the corner, and everybody on 4 fresh tires mid-pack on back. Trying to chase down the guy on 4 fresh tires who quickly gets to the lead in less than a lap of Kyle Busch, who has dominated this race for the most part here today. It definitely has the fastest car. Cannot make it on fuel to the end of the race from here. Still about 6 to 8 laps short on fuel, so that is not even manageable to save over the course of a run on a 2.5 mile racetrack like Indianapolis. So he'll wait it out if he has to for another caution. Fastest lap of the race, that last lap for Kyle Busch, and it comes with 41 to go. He is just absolutely running stellar. 52.064 on that last lap. Yeah, next live stream is going to be coming tomorrow afternoon. Of course, with no cup race on tomorrow, we get the afternoon slot on a Sunday once again instead of that late morning, early afternoon start. We'll be starting that race anywhere probably between 2 and 4 o'clock tomorrow afternoon is probably what we're looking at. Not going to be too late of a start time. So I know I'm going to be up late tonight between watching the race and having a fantasy football draft, so it's going to be a long night for me. I can use some of those hours of sleep in the morning and maybe not quite get out to the golf course at 6, 7 o'clock like usual. Maybe more like an 8, 9-ish. Jesse Little up to 2nd place. First driver on 4 fresh tires to get up there. He's had a heck of a run here today. Trying to put himself in position and things align correctly. Little has led 1 lap in this race today under green. It was on that 2nd restart of the race. Alex LeBay now into the top 5, up to 4th. Jacob Westbrook, welcome to the stream. Yeah, I caught the first two stages of the Xfinity race, and then the last stage of the race, that's when I ended up starting the Texas stream last night, but I kept a close eye on it. Just glancing over my shoulder from time to time when I could, and kind of missed the finish of the race, but then I saw the replay of it after the stream. Well, I saw it during the stream, but without sound, and then I went back right after the stream was over and rewatched the finish. Just 38 laps to go for Kyle Busch. 7-second lead. Brandon Brown back in the top 5 again. We saw him up there earlier. He DNF'd very early. He had a horrific accident last night at Texas in the first 5 laps and finished dead last. And he's on the outside looking in on the playoff bubble right now. But still 12 races to go after this one. But you need good runs middle of the season. You can't just sit back and wait until the end of the year to get all those points. It's going to be too little too late. And that's even if we get anybody to qualify for the playoffs on points. Because again, we've had 7 different winners, so just 5 spots remain with half the regular season still to go. Yeah, that was definitely good for Greg Gaulding to finish second. Second time he's finished second on a super speedway. I remember at Talladega last year he finished second place also. So been having some good fortune on those super speedway racetracks. Harrison Burton back into the top 5, and even though Austin Cindric on the same strategy as Kyle Busch, Harrison Burton, Brandon Brown, Jesse Little, Alex LeBay, all those guys in the top 5 right now. Cindric's on the same strategy as them, on the same tires, and Cindric nowhere to be found in the top 5 currently, so that is good for Kyle Busch, trying to gain as many points as he can on Cindric today. And Cindric still looking like he should be able to finish in the top 10 come race end. And we've seen him lead laps multiple times today too, so and we just don't know quite how this race is going to shape up come the end of it. "35 laps to go this time by. Well, caution's out before we get to that point. 4th caution of the race today. Justin Haley in 19th will get the free pass. And this will be the final pit stop of the race for Kyle Busch. This will be his 4th and final set of tires. Should be able to make it on fuel to the end from here. Just 33 laps to go and we go green. And the green flag is back in the air. Who will win at Indy? Will this be the final restart of the race? Busch with a quick restart through the gears, pulls up in front of LeBay. LeBay had a pretty good restart himself, was quickly able to get to the bottom, but Kyle got through the shift so perfectly. Jesse Little trying to get around LeBay. We gained a spot on him in pit road there. Off of turn 2, Little looks low. Couldn't quite get there. Kyle Busch, if he could just survive the first 5 to 10 laps in the short run, should allow him to drive away after that if we stay green long enough. Got a bad fast race car. Busch really drove it off into turn 1 pretty hard there. LeBay actually gained a little bit of ground. Through turn 2, Alex LeBay gains a little bit of ground through turn 2 now. Busch down the back straightaway trying to break the draft. Busch gapping him a little bit more again. He's got straightaway speed if he could keep breaking the draft. Oh, Busch lifted off of turn 4. He might have been able to stay in the gas, but it was going to be close, and he definitely didn't want to compact the outside wall, because that would have been a hard hit. LeBay is all over him now into turn 1. Busch slides up the track just a little bit, but LeBay also slid up the track. He couldn't capitalize. Defensive line into turn 2 by Busch on the bottom. LeBay tries to get the run off the top. Oh, and he bounces off the wall. LeBay hit the wall off of turn 2, and here comes Briscoe taking that advantage. LeBay was right there, and he got really tight off of turn 2 himself. Got in the wall. Briscoe jumps to second, and Austin Cindric's found his way back in the top 5. Meanwhile, Busch messes up turn 3. Trying to get away from the 98. Boy, he drove it in deep into 4. And tries to break the draft again as Chase Briscoe has finally cleared LeBay. Aiden Rowland, welcome to the stream. 30 laps to go at Indy. Busch slides up the track through turn 1. Here comes Briscoe. And he looks to the bottom for the lead. Oh, he puts the bumper to him. He puts the bumper to Kyle Busch. In a very flat corner, a risky move, but he made it pay off. You don't see that every day at Indy. That could have easily wrecked the leaders there. And Busch was not happy about that move whatsoever. He tries to get a run on the 98 car once again, but Briscoe wants to win in his home state. .29 to go. Kyle Busch to the inside for the lead. Trying to get around him cleanly. Although Briscoe didn't get around him cleanly. Way too fast of a track to really be bumping. LeBay shortly behind in third. Busch got a great run off of turn 2. Back to the inside. Big side draft. Now trying to get away from him. Down the back straightaway. Kyle Busch clears Briscoe into turn 3. Briscoe going to try to cross him over. Can't do it. Not yet, at least. Kyle Busch goes full throttle through turn 4 and drives away from Briscoe off the exit of 4. Busch back to the lead again. Yeah, I did predict who was going to get the last 3 playoff spots. There's only 3 playoff spots up for grabs tonight, but I did predict that in the video. And that video did just upload a little bit ago, too, during the course of this race. Does Briscoe have a shot to get right back at the 54 of Busch? Cindric, the fight to get back into the top 5, knowing Busch has a fast car and might end up winning once again. Trying to minimize the amount of time that Cindric will lose in this race to Kyle Busch. If it finishes out like it is right now, currently as we run, Kyle Busch will gain 7 points on Cindric, putting him 14 back in the regular season standings. Busch is slowly starting to pull back away from Briscoe. He broke the draft down the back straightaway a little more. And Kyle's just got such a fast car. You just gotta hope they can make it on field to the end. They should be able to. He'll save a little more at the end if he needs to. Kyle Busch about 2.25 laps to the good on fuel. Here at Indy, we have seen fuel mileage races here before in the Cup Series. We'll see one in the Xfinity Series here today. We'll get a caution, that'll change everything, and they'll easily be able to make it on fuel to the end. If we go to overtime, that's going to be something else too. Could end up being a factor. Fastest lap of the race that time by Busch. 25 laps to go, so we're 3/4 of the way home. And he's still clicking off fast lap times. Unbelievable. And he is pulling away. Off the top of my head, for whatever reason, I can't quite remember what the next Xfinity race is on the schedule. But we will have more Xfinity action tomorrow on the channel. Should be a lot of fun. My best finish in dirt on this game, or what? Like what game? NASCAR Heat 5. I actually have not raced the dirt series on Heat 5. Yeah, I barely even play this game outside of streaming and the career mode videos, because I just don't have time for it really. But I have been trying to practice up on NASCAR Thunder 04. I ran a couple races yesterday. Yeah, yesterday afternoon because it was raining. My golf round got rain shortened on me. Speaking of which, I did golf my best 18-hole and 9-hole round ever yesterday. In grand total, because I finished the round today before I started my round this morning. Went out there, I asked if I could finish up the last 3 holes, because I was playing so good yesterday and I had a good score going. So I shot a 74, 4 over par for 18. And on the back 9, I ended up shooting a 33. I went 2 under. That's the first time I had gone under par for a 9-hole round, and I went 2 under, so that was pretty cool. I was so stoked about it. I was scared that when the rain came yesterday and it downpoured for a couple hours that I wasn't going to be able to finish the round. I was scared that either A, I wasn't even going to be able to finish the round. I had a potential to get my best score ever because I was 1 under at the time. And then when I went back out there today, I was just scared that I wasn't going to play as good as I did yesterday just for those 3 holes, because I started off right out of the gate and I'm like, alright, I got to start strong here so I can finish this round. Sure enough, I played really well. Played decent after that for, I guess, today's round technically, but yeah, anyway, Thunder 04, at least, I mean, that's a somewhat of a good thing, again, with not being able to stream it this week and maybe not next week too. Again, it depends. It'd be tough for me to get it in next week, but at least I'm able to practice, because again, I forgot how hard the game was to drive. Some tracks are harder than others. I've only ran 4 races so far. I did win one of them, but on Legend difficulty, but it's like, it is so hard. I'm not running full races either, though. I'm only running like 10% races just so I can, you know, try to get varying different tracks, because I need to figure out setups is the main thing. I need to figure out setups that I can handle well and run fast at the same time. So I guarantee you I would not win the championship if I would have, what my original thinking is, I was just gonna hop in and go. We were gonna do the speed weeks for Daytona. No big deal, you know. I was gonna hop in. We were gonna stream whatever, and I was gonna practice for large portion of the races, just because I hadn't played that game in a while. Unlike with Heat 5, we only practiced some of the time. But I would have practiced, I would have qualified every race. And I would have struggled. I would have struggled mightily. I probably would have won a few races here and there, but I wouldn't have been a contender for the championship, I don't think. I don't know, I could have surprised myself come season end, but it's still going to be hard, even with practicing. It's going to take a lot more than just the hour and a half I've spent practicing on it in the last like 4 days combined. It's going to take a lot more than that to be a threat. It takes a while to get good at something, and it took me a while to get good here at NASCAR Heat video games. I mean, not a long time, but it's like general idea. I knew what I was doing, but that game's a lot harder than this one. Kyle Busch about to hit lap traffic here. We're less than 20 laps out from the finish of this race today. Kyle Busch will try to kiss the bricks. Obviously, he'll get to do so if he wins this race. Cindric's still running in fourth, barely ahead of Jeremy Clements by a couple car lengths. Lap traffic, if we stay green to the end, will play a factor as far as those positions back there. And as far as the fuel goes, Kyle Busch is pacing himself well. He's still about the same length, about 2 1/4 laps to the good on fuel. He's just got to hope this thing doesn't go to overtime, and he should easily be able to make it to the end. He doesn't even have to save any. And he wants it to stay green, although if we get a caution, it'll help him. He cannot take tires, so if somebody else, just one other driver, takes tires under the next pit stop, gets through the field pretty quickly because there's not a lot of cars on the lead lap, that is going to hurt Kyle Busch's chances of winning this race because he cannot pit for tires. That is the only bad part about him pitting under all 4 cautions. Yes, he went through all 4 sets of his tires at a perfect amount of time. He knew he wasn't going to have an issue with it today. But even still, just wasn't really aggressive with this, with the team's calling in this race as far as pit strategy. We just kind of stuck to the plan that we were going to pit every single caution, and that's what we did. And as long as we didn't have more than 4, we were okay, and that was the case. Best dirt finish in Heat 4. I honestly can't remember. I don't remember running a lot of dirt races. I probably won. I'd have to imagine I would have had to have won a couple races. I know I didn't play it on the career mode. I played a lot of the dirt mode on Heat 3 when it first came in. Heat 3 was the first game they had that dirt series. And I played a lot of it in that game. I didn't play a lot of it in Heat 4, and then Heat 5 I just didn't feel the need to. Dirt series was fun at first for me. I was just kind of losing the will to want to play the dirt series on this game. Yeah, we won our Eldora truck race on Heat 5. On our truck series season. It was a good race, and then we pulled away about the last 20 to 30 laps. It went caution free, so that kind of helped us. Allgaier not having a good run in 26th in this one. Again, one of the drivers who have not won a race this year. Only one Junior Motorsports driver has won, and that is Michael Annett. We got the win at Phoenix earlier this season. Outside of him, the other Well, Daniel Hemrick, my bad. Daniel Hemrick also won at Road America, so. But Justin Allgaier, Noah Gragson, probably the two best drivers at Junior Motorsports, have not won a race yet on this season. And it can be troubling, again, with 5 spots open. 14 laps to go for Kyle Busch. 16.5 second lead. This is his race to lose. If things don't go his way. Less of a caution, of course. He's pretty much hit his marks all day. He slipped up here and there. Only really got into the wall twice. And they weren't hard hits. Really, virtually no damage throughout the course of the race today. So we'll alternate through the different camera angles here one final time in today's race at the start-finish line. We'll have 13 laps to go here in this one. So with calculating the points as well, something that I've noticed, Jeff Green in the 38 car this season only has 77 points. He's dead last. He's the only driver that doesn't have 100 points, and he's still quite a ways below it. It's pretty sad, all things considered, that this is the 14th race of the season now, and he's still probably not going to be anywhere close to 100 points. It seems like even the super speedway races, like, he just doesn't run well. Or he DNFs. Backmarker driver, you can't really ask for too much, but $12 people watching currently. Thanks for everybody tuning in. And again, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Caution's out with 11 laps to go in the race. Caution will fly again. Justin Haley will get the free pass in 19th. We know Busch is going to have to stay out here, and it looks like everybody else will also. There's a crash in the mirror, so that was the cause of the caution. Gotcha. Yeah, I saw you mention crash like right before it happened. I didn't even see it. So caution is out. Not sure exactly who it was out on. Ray Black Jr., Mike Harmon, the only two drivers out of the race up until that caution. That's the 5th caution of the race today, and we'll go green with 8 laps to go. So just 8 laps remain at Indy. Who will get the win here today? Will this be the final restart? Green flag back in the air. Nobody pitted, so as long as Kyle Busch hits his mark on this opening lap as we get up to speed, he should be able to drive away from the rest of the field once again. Briscoe, 2nd place. Alex LeBay, 3rd. Followed by Chastain, and then Cindric fell back to 4th on the restart. And the restart on the top side, so. Yep. No pressure with the fuel tank anymore. We were 2 laps to the good before. Now we're roughly 5 laps to the good, so. Things are looking better in that aspect. Tires were not really going to be a factor to the end of the race either. They definitely aren't now. And Cindric has fallen outside of the top 5, so this restart's going to hurt Cindric's finish, it looks like, if he can't get back up there. 7 laps to go as we're back up to speed at Indy. Like they're side by side back there for about second place rather. LeBay going for second on Chase Briscoe. Both Briscoe and LeBay winless this season. So is Harrison Burton and Chastain. The only driver who has a win that's in the top 5 is the race leader, Kyle Busch. This is hurting Cindric in the point standings. When we went green, he was currently 14 points ahead of Kyle Busch, but he has lost at least a couple spots. Restarting on the outside in 4th definitely hurt him. Was not in the preferred line. He couldn't get down to the bottom quick enough. And likely just got freight trained up there, but that will help Kyle, as he hopes it just stays green to the finish now. So we're good if we go to overtime on fuel. If we have more than one overtime, that's where trouble can come awry. But on NASCAR Heat 5, we have not had multiple overtimes in a race. We have had overtimes, one single overtime in a race, but we have not had multiple overtimes in the same race. 5 laps to go in the Indiana 250. Easy going for Kyle Busch here today. By far the best car. Yeah, the tires were vibrating. It was just like that with the AI cars too. You can't feel it, it's just a look and a graphics kind of issue. That's all. 8-second lead for Kyle Busch, 4 laps to go. Caution comes out now, we go to overtime. And we will run past the scheduled limit to the race. Busch just trying to at least get to the white flag. Should be good to go. And even if we do get a caution, the force OT, he'll be able to win as long as nobody pits behind him and takes fresher tires. Because, well, between that, as long as he gets through the gears in the first couple turns correctly, then should be no issue there for Kyle. Oh, and he's in the wall off of turn 3. That was not pretty at all. Three to go. It's only the 3rd time he's hit the wall all day long, and all 3 times have been light hits just like that, kind of overrunning the corner slightly, getting back in the gas a little too soon and pushing tight off the exit of the corner in return. Cindric's worked his way back to the top 5. He's up to 5th, still a net loss of 1 spot there. So he's currently now 13 points above the cut line. You can see there's the tires shaking around quite a bit again. I don't know if that's just PS4s too or not, but it's like, that's one thing that NASCAR Heat's had a problem with these patches. They get the patches and they fix one thing, but in the middle of that said patch, it messes something else up. Like, they can't get everything right. 2 laps left at Indy. Less than 2.5 miles now as Busch is in turn 1 to getting to the white flag. 5 cautions total today. Ooh, Busch kind of misses mark in turn 2 there. A little wider entrance to the corner. He made it work somewhat on exit, but he's trying to hustle to get to the final lap, just in case something goes awry. Off turn 4, down the front straightaway to the start-finish line. White flag in the air, 1 lap to go for Kyle Busch. He's going to get there. We'll see if Cindric might drop out of the top 5 here on this final lap of the race before they get back to the checker. Half a lap to go for Kyle Busch. Two more corners. A dominating race for the second race in a row. Kyle Busch will go back-to-back winning Texas and Indianapolis in back-to-back days on the channel. It'll be his 7th win of the season. And he'll cut into that points lead a little bit more. Kyle Busch will kiss the bricks at the Brickyard. He wins at Indianapolis. Kyle Busch, another win this season. He started off slow, but he's picking up pace over the course of the middle of this season. Somewhere out there, IndyCar professionals are not liking me right now for burning it out over the bricks, but it's a video game. Only reason I'm doing it. Heck of a burnout nonetheless, though, by Busch. Just tearing the house down. What a win here for Kyle Busch today, and there he is in victory lane at the prestigious Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Always love to win here whenever given the opportunity. Austin Cindric had the fastest lap of the race with a 51.849, but Busch had the fastest car overall. Led 87 of the 100 laps today. Absolute domination from Kyle Busch, despite starting in the 12th position, or 11th position rather. Josh Bilicki had the biggest move of the race, or the biggest mover of the race, and Anthony Alfredo looked like he had the toughest break here in this one. Take a look at the finishing results. Kyle Busch with the win. Chase Briscoe in his hometown, or I should say home state, runner-up, finished second. Alex LeMay third. Harrison Burton fourth. Austin Cindric, points leader, rounds out the top 5. He'll still have the points lead over Kyle Busch at the end of this race. 79 total minutes, it looks like, also. So an hour and 19 minutes total time. Ross Chastain 6th, Jeremy Clement 7th, Brandon Jones 8th, 9th is Jesse Little, and Noah Gragson rounds out the top 10 here in this one. 19 drivers finished on the lead lap today, with only 3 DNFing. Chad Fincham, Ray Black Jr., Mike Harmon were the 3 drivers to DNF in this race. 13 points is all that separates the top 2 in the point standings for that regular season title, with 12 races to go. It is getting tighter and tighter. Cindric has had the points lead every race since the second race of the season, but Kyle Busch trying to dethrone him as the races continue on. As usual, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Hit the like button down below if you enjoyed the race, the commentary, the video in general. We'll be back again tomorrow with more Xfinity Series action on the channel. Start time anywhere between 2 to 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I've got a fantasy football draft tonight after the NASCAR race, so we're having a little get-together at our commissioner's house. So I will not have the post-race analysis video out for tonight's race until tomorrow morning. Sorry for that, but you know, as things go in real life, you gotta keep life moving on here outside of the channel. But nonetheless, that will be out again tomorrow. So I'll give you guys my thoughts, opinions. Predictions video is already out for tonight's race. Fantasy lineup advice as well along the way. And I'll be leaving for Darlington middle of next week for the Southern 500, so that'll be a lot of fun too. I'll be vlogging that trip. So a lot to come on the channel here over the next little bit. Hopefully we can get Thunder 04 started next week. But no matter what happens, we're going to have it started on the channel, if not next week, the week after at the very latest, when I get back from Darlington. So that is going to be all for this one again. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good rest of your afternoon and enjoy the race tonight. I know I will. It should be a lot of fun. And I'll see you guys right back here on the channel again tomorrow. Thanks and enjoy.